A gray and white cat planted both white paws around one cracked curb paint mark while pedestrians stepped around her, and that tiny mark stayed centered right there. The neighbor's first guess was simple at first. The curb was warm, the afternoon was quiet, and cats choose strange resting spots all the time anyway. But the next afternoon, she returned to the same white crack, set her paws around it, and corrected one paw-like placement really mattered that time. When the neighbor offered a sunnier patch nearby, the cat stepped away once, turned back, and placed herself over the cracked paint again instead once more. That was when the neighbor stopped watching the cat's face and looked at the curb. One lifted paint chip sat between those white front paws. Another afternoon made it harder to dismiss. Same curb island, same gray and white cat, same white paws bracketing the same little crack again, in the same place. Nearby scuffs looked almost identical, so the neighbor checked them carefully. The cat ignored every one and left the raised chip visible from her paws again. Then the neighbor gently moved her 2 steps away onto the safe sidewalk. She walked right back, set one paw on each side, and held there without looking anywhere else. From standing height, the marks still looked ordinary, like old paint damage or a familiar warm place along the curb edge. Nothing more to everyone watching. From the cat's low angle, a thin dark line appeared under the lifted paint, and it stayed there when shaded by hand from that spot. The neighbor took a low photo before touching anything. When the phone lifted higher, the line vanished from the screen completely, as if height decided everything. So the neighbor changed the question. Instead of moving the cat again, they crouched lower and checked the paint edge itself, very carefully from the cat's exact height. The false answer broke there. The cat had not been choosing the curb, or the warmth, or any crack nearby. Only the lifted chip mattered, not the curb itself after all. Only that lifted chip kept holding the same shape. And the hidden line matched the low photo from the sidewalk each time under the same chip. The cat's small paw tap did not add drama. It simply landed beside the same edge the neighbor still could not name yet at all. A passing foot scuffed dust near the curb, and suddenly, the tiny raised chip felt easier to miss than to solve on a busy sidewalk that exact afternoon. The neighbor looked toward the larger gutter edge, because that seemed more logical. The cat stayed beside the chip instead, perfectly still, not the wider edge. They checked the dry gutter lip first and found nothing useful. One soft tap from the cat brought attention back to the curb paint again immediately. Then the neighbor reopened the first low clip from the first afternoon. Between the cat's paws, the same lifted chip already showed that tiny edge, long before the mark made sense. This time, the neighbor lifted only the loose paint edge. A tiny pet ID tag corner appeared, with a small round hole under the paint today. After the tag was removed, the old setup looked different. Same block, same edge, but the cat paused without framing it anymore at the old mark. When the curb paint was repaired, and the